Today I have two novels about women experiencing challenges in their midlife and in their marriages. They're just experiencing those similar challenges in very different time periods in America. The first, All Fours by Miranda July. If you haven't heard of this book and you're an avid reader, you must be living under a rock. This book hit it and has resounded and resonated with a lot of women because it is absolutely resonant. This book has been hailed as kind of like the first major novel about perimenopause, but it's about so much more than that. It's about marriage, it's about parenting, it is about midlife, it's about identity, sexuality, it's about friendship. It's kind of about a journey of self-discovery. In it, the unnamed narrator intends to take a trip across America. She's going to drive. She is an artist of some fame and some means. She's about 30 minutes from home, sort of stalls out, ends up staying in a hotel for a period of time, and has a different journey entirely. This is a story, I found it to be a story about all different kinds of intimacy. Intimacy with yourself, intimacy with a partner, sexual intimacy, yes, but intimacy with friends, intimacy with strangers and with maybe even famous strangers, intimacy with your past. I thought it was fascinating and beautiful, super descriptive, really interesting. I read it twice, once with my eyes, once with my ears. One thing I love about audiobooks is when they're read by the author, as this one was. And I found her voice absolutely entrancing, as is her narrative voice. Her voice as an author was entrancing. So this is an amazing novel. And comparing that to a slim little novel called The Most, this is an interesting premise. This woman, it's in 1957, instead of going to church with her husband and sons, she goes to the pool for a little dip and stays in the pool of her apartment complex for the rest of the day. So we're into a concerning amount of time. And women, like by and large, women don't go off the rails, right? Women stay on the rails. Something keeps us on the rails because we have obligations and responsibilities. And this woman shirks all of them. The novel takes place entirely within 8 hours. And you get her narrative and you get her backstory as well as her husband's and what's actually happening and why she's in the pool. And it says on the front, an exquisite, taut literary mousetrap, which is true. And I sort of compare these two characters and narrators as to, what sort of exploration is more available to women now as it was then. So these are both really fascinating women's stories, an exploration of selves, and they're wonderful. Remember, it doesn't matter how you take your stories in. It doesn't matter what you're reading or how fast or how slow, as long as you're reading and for you, it's sparking joy.